Okay, so one of the recurring themes on this channel is hypocrisy. I really hate a double standard, and there are a lot of them in life. The current one that's on my mind involves sexual harassment because this year has been the year of the Me Too campaign. And I find it incredibly troubling to watch people go from listen and believe to fake news. And in this case, yes, I am referring to liberals, because we were all set to champion listening to women until guys like Louis C.K. and Al Franken got accused of sexual harassment or other things. Oh, and I've also heard a bunch of people defending Joss Whedon, some of them very, very rabidly, but I've already beaten the Joss Whedon horse to death, so I think I'm going to move on to some fresher horses. Louis C.K. is the easy one to talk about because it's kind of cut and dry. People have decided, oh, well, how could he have done the things he's accused of? He's such a nice guy. And that's the thing. People say that about everyone, from people who download files illegally on the web right up to serial killers. Oh, he was such a nice guy. I couldn't possibly imagine him doing that. Well, you probably could if you didn't personally like him. Al Franken's a little more complicated. Al Franken kind of hoists himself by his own petard. He was one of the people who championed the whole concept of listening to the accusers, and it bit him in the ass pretty hard. Now, I will clarify, because apparently this needs to be said, no, he and people like Donald Trump and Roy Moore are not the same. And yes, there is hypocrisy on the right too, because Donald Trump was one of the people who went after Anthony Weiner, who, by the way, actually went to jail for what he did, and who these people gleefully went after the Harvey Weinstein problem and how liberals have a problem in Hollywood, and ignored the Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly accusations, Donald Trump's grab him by the pussy accusations, Roy Moore's accusations of, I'm not even going to go there. And while I don't endorse any of this, while I hate it, while I am really disappointed with the fact that it came down to 1.5% of the vote deciding whether or not an accused pedophile, and yes, I'm using the modern term, not the clinical definition, deal with it, would be representing a state in Congress. All of that is bad, yes, but the Republicans aren't the ones claiming that they support women, that they listen to women, that they are championing women's rights. And the Democrats kind of are. The Democrats are supposed to be the party of the disenfranchised and the downtrodden. And they were the ones chanting, listen and believe. They were the ones who were supporting all the women who had been accused right up until it got to somebody that they liked. Suddenly, it was a conspiracy theory. Well, the right is attacking, and they started to go on attack of the victims, something that we're never supposed to do. And if you want to know why this makes me especially uncomfortable, James O'Keefe's Project Veritas actually attempted to create a fake news story with which to gotcha the liberal media, and it failed. Not only does it kind of put holes in the whole liberal media conspiracy theory, but it also kind of sinks this whole, well, concern troll motive here about false accusations and how, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I have very little regard for this because, again, when a claim doesn't add up, they're not running with it. This demonstrates it. Thanks, O'Keefe, you actually did good. But liberals, progressives, feminists were ready to fire up those pitchforks and torches right up until it was the people that they actually liked. I'm going out on a limb and saying that very few of these people actually liked Harvey Weinstein, but there were calls for resignations, calls for consequences, and then when it came to Al Franken, it's like, but does he really have to go? And people argued, oh, hey, well, look at what Donald Trump is doing and he's not resigning. And you'll pardon me if I shake my head at that, because I think being better than Donald Trump and especially being better than Roy Moore, a man accused of something like 20 instances of inappropriate conduct with underage girls, I think that's an incredibly low bar to crawl over. I also really think that a lot of the anger is misguided. People are complaining about liberals. People are complaining about how Al Franken's career has been ruined, etc. And, I mean, Al Franken's career may be over, but it's over because of actions that he did and a stance that he took. I am angry and disappointed with Senator Franken because he is the guy who did these things. He betrayed the trust and he betrayed the ideals that he's supposed to stand for. And yeah, I know Donald Trump is worse, but isn't whataboutism one of the things that we keep complaining about when the other side does it? If we abandon our principles when they become inconvenient, aren't we just doing what the other side does?